are the Decepticons after anyway?
Oh, just that necklace my father gave me.
You never make any sense, you know that?
Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with a weekly news and review for July 16th, 2023. Of course, we've got Transformers news, lots of Transformers news from TFCon Toronto, but it's mostly just them admitting we're all getting caught up. There's not a whole lot of new stuff. Some Masters of the Universe updates, just a little bit going on in the Masters Motu department. We've got an exclusive that this is kind of a cool exclusive if you're interested in Jurassic Park. And then there's some Joe news. And then there's actually some pretty cool Joe news. We'll get into all of that good stuff. Some more updated pictures of the cats there. Some more reveal teaser pictures. Like they seem to just keep putting those out. And more stuff. And then we've got some Star Wars news. Actual real new Star Wars news this week. And we'll talk about this and more coming up. Alright, starting out with some cool stuff at Show Z. This is the track for Thomas Astro Train FT44. So this stand/track was omitted from the reissue of the Thomas for Fans Toys. Now this is a decision made by Fans Toys to put it out separate so that if you just want your Thomas figure, you can knock a $20 off or something. It's actually, I think, $40 cheaper. I don't know. Anyway, it's only like $180 instead of $220 or something along those lines, so that you don't have the stand. And if you really want the stand, you can buy it separate. I don't know if it's going to be 20 or 40. I don't know how much the stand's going to be. I can't see it being more than $20 though. It doesn't really make sense. Anyway, you can pre-order it right now if you want to. The third set of the Magic Square MSB 39A crane hook and long haul. Anyway, this is the last set of 3 to make the metallic look for their Devastator. I did already show the first 2 sets, and then this one's up. I've got them all pre-ordered. I'm going to be looking at these guys, but people were concerned that all 3 sets didn't go up at once, but I knew there's no way Magic Square just put 2 sets up and not a third. They like money way too much to do that. So anyhow, you can get them all right now, but it would be a concern if you wait any longer and one of the sets sells out. That would be kind of strange. And lastly, they have these Half the Battle toys. These are really small figures that are build yourself. You got to put them together. It's really not that big of a deal. You just kind of snap and pop things into it. It's no big deal. But they're 1.42 inches to 0.43 inches in height. And I don't have a price on them just yet. You get 4 per pack. On the left, you get the bad guys, the Decepticons. On the right, you get the Autobots. And so with that, I've got, well, I think I have both sets pre-ordered. I do want to take a look at these guys and see how they go and check them out. But you'll have to paint them. There's a lot to it. You just get the bare bones gray like that, I think. But we'll see. Next up, we have the Lijing Bien Zing, and this is Gorilla. And so it looks pretty cool, made of ABS and metal, 9 inches tall, alloy chest and knees. So pretty decent right there. Here it is in the alt mode, in the actual Gorilla mode, and looks pretty cool. So I'm guessing this is a new company, but I think they've made something before. But anyhow, looks pretty good right out the gate. This is going to be jumping around between, they're all third parties, so for the most part, just kind of jumping around. With this one is the Sludge from New Age that is already getting a recolor, so there are going to be a ton of recolors in here. So there's really, I'm not going to go into every little detail, but I'm going to show a group shot that should show it all. Here it is lined up with the G2 Grimlock, and so in the alt mode, looking pretty good. I'm not sure what this iteration of that coloration is. Then we get into the clear ones, so they're both getting their clear ones, and that looks kind of cool. It's kind of fun. Partially an homage to the toy, partially just fun and clear. Here's a lineup of all the different versions that you're going to get with cartoon and G2s and all that fun stuff. So looking pretty good overall. And then I'll just prime drive it down in the middle of all of this. And not much else for New Age. We kind of all knew most of that stuff was coming, except what exactly they were recoloring. Getting into some Doctor Wu. This is the Iron Eater, the DWTP-10. And it looks interesting. These are just interesting little dudes, and also you can see that they have them in green and they have them in blue. So you can pick which one you want. It's a scraplet. They're scraplets. That's something along those lines. Anyhow, I'm trying not to show pictures that we've already seen. We've shown they're showing off their Wheeljack, the Marble Wheeljack. We've seen that stuff, but we haven't seen this Perceptor, I don't think. But anyhow, I might actually start biting on some of these Dr. Woos if they're the same size and scale as the X-Transbots and the ones that we got with the Masterpiece Skyfire. I mean, if they're all around the same size, then I'd try to get the ones that haven't already been put out and they transform. Kind of cool. Okay, so this one is Top Notch Toys Astrobots, and it is the Atlas, and then after this will be the Savage Atlas. So cool stuff here. Here's the Savage Atlas, and they both look really cool. Interesting figures, and if you're in on these, keeping up with these, there's more to come. So then getting past this, we're going to get into Metagate, and I showed Drift last week, same exact pictures, no need to go into it. This week, this one is the Movie B Nemesis Prime. So, looks good. I think we've also seen that. For whatever reason, we're seeing Lucky Cat's Constructicons again. So there's probably some slight variance or repaint to it or something like that. But then here it is in the combined mode. So this is, I think it's 7 inches tall in combined mode, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been a while since I've read the specs on this, and it's nothing really new. But also, there's going to be something they call the ETO1. This is the B-Movie B. A B-Movie B. So, was that movie I thought that movie was pretty much an A movie, though, right? Here's the alt mode, which it actually looks pretty good, considering how small these are. These are not big figures. They're small. And it is panelly and gappy a little bit, but it's tiny. So, forgive that. Okay, 01 Studio Cell, the ones that gave us a really nice looking, but in my opinion, kind of short. Kind of short for Stormtrooper Unicron. We're getting this seed, okay? And so this is Primus, and it looks like we saw in the original pictures, but now color on it. So this is the first coloration of these pictures that we've seen. Here's bot mode, and looks good. Looks good, looks big. I had funny thing, I saw 2 of these at a shop, the original ones, the original release, just the other day. And I thought about picking one up. I thought, I might pick one up, but I didn't. Okay. Also, 01 Studio Cell, they're getting into making a Devastator. So I didn't show every single picture of it because we'd be here all day, because there's 2 pictures of each that they're working on. But just kind of one picture of one of the bot modes, one of the alt modes. You gotta get a gist of their style because they're stylized. And then, of course, we want to see what the whole thing looks like. And so I hope this is either a very, very early design, or I don't know, because it looks like a whole lot of detail, like extra detail up top, and then you got just a blank foot. So I mean, animation wise, maybe the blank foot's right, but it's like you're going hyper G1 in one area and then super detailed in the other. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm looking forward. I mean, I'll give it a shot, of course. This one is CS01 little B from another company called Collection Space. So this it's a female fembot, little B, female bumblebee. That's exactly what it is. So here's the alt mode, and see, this is a super clean alt mode. It looks really good. So they put all of the work and function into the alt mode, and then the bot mode, it looks like it just has a big backpack. So I'm okay with that. All right, getting in Planet X, they're making their sludge, and it's a Proteus. Now, we've seen this before. This isn't new, but it's further along than when we saw it the first time. So that's what it looks like now. It doesn't look G1. It looks like a bit of a stylized look. More, I guess, if it was in the game, because I think the Grimlock was designed for the game. This is a G2 like repaint or something. And then that's what it looks like. It's bigger than Grimlock, like he should be. So looking pretty good over there. And then Iron Factory Prowl, and it looks like an Iron Factory one, and they're going in that same direction, but I feel like this just has less paint than I'm used to seeing on Iron Factory. Maybe I'm wrong, but it just looks like less paint, so not really sure. I wasn't really wowed by this, and we already saw the lead foot last week, so we're just going to kind of move on. Big news of the Fans Toys. So both their combiners, they showed prototypes for the first time ever This is like a world premiere of prototypes. Before it was renders, so we have up till, I guess you could say, till Friday, the whole world's only seen renders, and now we see prototypes, unless they're really faking us and they're really still just renders. But anyway, these are the figures. We got Viper. I am the Window Viper. He's coming along to vipe your windows, and he looks pretty cool. I mean, these look great, and I will display these in bot mode. The alt modes, of course, look good too, although they won't see them for more than like 5 minutes for me, but still looks nice, looks sweet. And then Jester, the court Jester, a lot of fun, funny dude, hilarious. Okay, there he goes. I don't know if I don't particularly like how well the backpacks were handled with the fans toys, but the transformations are pretty intuitive and decent. So I'm not going to complain about that at all if the transformations are okay. Here is the grand finale, the bot mode, the combined bot mode. And it looks good. I mean, phenomenal. It's what Fans Toys does. And I'm sure it's going to look better than the Zeta once it's all done. But it's going to be expensive and a long wait, so we got all those issues. Next up, we got Bandit. Bandit's coming for the Minosaur. There, Minosaur. And looking pretty good. We've seen black and white, just pre-renders before. This looks like the actual figure, and it's got some paint to it. There's the alt mode, so we can kind of get a good look at that alt mode there. And then we got this. So we've got the combined modes looking good, and you can have all these different options with it. So finally getting to see the prototype. I hope this really is the prototype, not just the render with they colored in the render. I mean, that would suck. That really would suck. But looks like they got it in the works. So it's going to be an extra trailer. So a double trailer, which actually does match the animation, which is fine. Then we got this. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to have no part of this. So when I get my hands on mine and I take a look at that extra trailer part, I just won't be involved in this. This might even be you might be forced to do this to get to. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on with all this, but it's interesting. I know that I really hated when Extra Transbots put it into a base mode, and now we've got this. So anyhow, I just think it's unnecessary, and let's just get it to this. Yeah, there we go. Let's go straight from bots to cars to this, right? That's the way I see it. Other people will disagree with me though. They'll want to keep it in that base mode for like a week just for fun, but that's how big he is compared to good old Megatron, Galvatron. And so that's their Sovereign for Fans Toys. That's a pretty big boy. That's a big bot. I mean, it probably should be 21 inches, right? All right, so getting into some more stuff here. This is the Eris from Ocular Max for female Armada Megatron. Now, we've seen this before, but I guess we got more pictures here, so that's great. Then they're moving into something that's really strange. It's the Saltus Regenesis, and it's a G1 style movie drift, but it's based off of their it's their Springer, so based off their Springer mold for the most part. So looking pretty cool. There's the helicopter mode, and there's Saltus. That's what it was. Saltus Regenesis is their Springer. It says it. I just couldn't remember that's what the Saltus was the name of their Springer. So still looks pretty cool. I never picked this figure up, but I hear a lot of great things about it. And then they went into showing a bunch of individual pictures, their blades, their groove, but just going straight for the combined mode here, and we're gonna get this and get it finished up. I think it's the superior overall figure, although I'm sticking with X-Transbots because it's gonna be bigger. So, but I think that I'm really impressed with what MMC's doing here, and it looks great. And it'll probably be done before X-Transbots is done. So, but they're also showing some pictures of their Devastator. So it's like everyone's doing a Devastator right now. It's like the cool thing. All the cool kids making a Devastator. So let's make one too. Here's the legs. That's the first leg, and then blur everything else out. So still, I think it's gonna look good. I think it's gonna look really good, and it's gonna be really hard to not want to be part of making that Devastator. He's only going to be 18 inches tall, so put it in perspective, it's going to be about as tall as the Combiner Wars one that Hasbro's already made. So, but it's going to look a little more G1, and the knees will bend at the knee instead of the hip, maybe. But there kind of shows what it looks like, what they've done, where they've been, and kind of where they're going at the same time. So we get in finally the fans' hobby, and this is the MB-22 Armada Jetfire. And so people are really excited about this one because it's going to combine and make something else bigger. And that's kind of how Armada did their thing. This is the Armada Stars MB-22. Okay, that's how it combines. That looks pretty good. And then this is more stuff coming 2024. And then we get into 21, which is the Armada Tidal Wave. So this is something else. Okay, this thing's going to be huge. This is going to be massive. So that's what people are excited about with this Tidal Wave. And I can see why. I mean, we've been kind of getting some previews of this. And we get some teasers from this. Not quite the same way Super 7 does it, but we've been getting quite a few teasers. Quite a bit of stuff going on. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big. I did not convert these measurements over, but I'm sure they're going to put out, another series of pictures every single week, probably 3 times a week. Super Combined Mode A. So Super Combined Mode A, and yeah, just a lot of cool stuff, fun stuff you can do with this, and reliving that era. All right, here's the actual prototype of the MMC in hand. That's really cool to have it at TFCon. That is fantastic. Looks really good. So getting to show all of what's going on with that, and it looks great. They did a great job there. And then a couple things with Dealer Room. We did have the Fansways gears on display. Look at that paint job. Very nice. Very good looking figure overall. And we've got the MMC Ocular Max Pitch. It's the EX version, which is the exclusive. And yeah, it's going to look better than the standard one. But the standard one's still going to look pretty good. But it comes with the little cassette, almost like it's in a cassette player, which is fun, which is cool. Almost like in a mini blaster. Maybe it's a blue blaster box, right? So maybe this is twin cast. All right, so Takara is putting out their MPM 14 Bone Crusher from the movie line. So this is something. It's going to be at Target. It's at the Target Collectors Con thing that they got going on right now. So if you want to order it, I think you can order this right now on Target.com. Robosen is showing teasers of their Grimlock, which is going to be an auto-converting Grimlock. So it should be July 19th, 2023. I guess they're going to have everything about it. So it's going to be interesting, cool, and I look forward to seeing it. I do agree, this is probably one of the better ones to make auto-transform than some of the other ones. So easier than a Bumblebee, I'm sure. We're just inundated with news this week, probably because of the con, but Yellow Park Transformers, Rise of the Beast, Optimus Primal, and Bumblebee Movie Nemesis Prime teaser images from Yellow Park, and so there they are. No more next week. Stand 32 centimeters tall. I haven't converted all that yet, so what's that? 27 inch? Wait, no. Anyway, I haven't converted it. 62 centimeters tall. Not much really exciting stuff going on right now with the mainline stuff, but there is this Rise of the Beast, Battle Changers, Scourge, and Beast Weaponizers RC, and that looks kind of cool. Kind of interesting. If you're into that, then you would be into that, and the alt mode looks okay. So both alt modes look pretty good. So there it is, a little bit of news from mainline. So it looks like people are getting the Walmart retro version of the kickback, and these are the movie style ones. So instead of having back metalized stuff, it's going to have more kind of just silvery. So it looks pretty good, pretty interesting if you're into this stuff. I mean, I still only see Starscream, so my hopes aren't up at all. But then again, I don't want to pay $35, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Quick look at this. This is the Authentics Soundwave. And I thought it'd be kind of cool, but it turns into a truck. But I'd like to see a picture of the whole body. But I think that Soundwave's, of course, a really cool character. This is going to be one of the evergreens, which should be around for years. If it's a cool mold. I mean, I don't know why they couldn't make it a decent mold, decent Soundwave. Hope the rest of it looks better. Okay, so this is the Transformers Beast Awakening, Rise of the Beast, Ultimate Optimus Prime, and this is in-hand images. This thing is supposed to be bigger and more complicated than anything else, more complex than any mainline figure ever released, theoretically. That's what they're saying, so not sure how true that is, but there's the alt mode, and it's kind of compared to the standard one. So it looks big. It looks big and beefy, and the bigger it is, so I think it's a little bit easier to make it more complex when it's bigger, but it looks the part to me. IGN on YouTube is hosting one segment of deleted scenes, and there's going to be a whole lot of deleted scenes on this. I guess the DVDs where you're going to find it, but this week everybody's been talking about the deleted scenes, so pretty cool, pretty interesting. How'd you like The Rise of Beast? Okay, we got a lot more stuff to cover this week because it wasn't just TFCon. There's a lot more going on, and so I'm just going to show this. This is a picture of kind of what you can go get at the, it's Target Geek Out Collector Event Week 5. Hasbro, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and Transformers. So when I talked about Transformers, then you also can see the Star Wars figures that are up there, a helmet, and then Indiana Jones. And so with that, I was thinking about pre-ordering the Indiana Jones, but I've been having luck finding everything in the store so far. But I think the rest might be harder. But then again, a lot of stuff's not released yet, but we'll see. The line is coming to an end very fast. No Mola Ram. So anyway, get the stuff on Target Geek Out if you want to. Alright, so we've got 2 new pictures this past week, and I haven't talked about really any of it. So this is the Cat's Lair, and it shows some really amazing details that we haven't seen yet, looking like kind of a rock wall and the stairs, and then we've got the Samo flange and that tool section. That is really cool. That is very cool. I love how they did that. Super 7 did a good job on this. I know Super 7 gets a lot of flack and hate and negativity, but they do their big stuff really well, and I like pretty much everything that comes out. Some of my Silverhawks have fallen over, shelf dives from Super 7. That's just honesty, but I still like the way they look, and I'm gonna work around that. But I think this is a very awesome set. $650's right on price wise. It's gonna be very amazing and impressive, and so I like the way it looks. And getting into this, so this one's almost literally put it out on Sunday. My news went up on Sunday, and this comes out on Sunday. So this is the inside of that panel, that rock wall mountain panel that I was talking about in one of those videos. That was a possibility, and it was kind of rumored, and people were telling me about it in the comments, but then I started noticing little things that people pointed out, and I was like, yep, that all makes sense. I believe it. So the conspiracy theory is now correct. It's true. And then if you look and see, it just looks like, that's so impressive, right? You take the inside of this, if you look at your, like say at Castle Grayskull, the inside with where you have all this rock formation that's just helping form the other side of it. But you look at this and you go, okay, well, let's just go ahead and put this big old throne room kind of thing in there with these windows. And then, of course, we've got the table and the chairs. Really awesome. Just fantastic. Great job. This is going to look amazing both inside and out. Starts to make you wonder what's going to be on the other side. Or was that toolkit wall all there was to the other side? Even if that toolkit wall is all that there was to the other side, that's still very impressive. And I look forward to seeing this at SDCC. Okay, so there's a lot of G.I. Joe news this week. I'm trying to get it all in, and I should have segued with the Super 7 stuff, but let's just get into this. We've exceeded the goals. I think we're at 17,000 now, something like that. So we have unlocked Glinda. We're working on Crazy Legs, and as I've said in past videos, we're probably going to barely crack the 19,000. Well, probably crack 20, but we'll get the 19,000 unlocked. We've got 2 days ago when I filmed this, so one day by the time you watch this, that you're actually going to be able to order the Dragonfly. So Sunday night, by midnight, get it ordered so you don't have any stress if you want this. If you don't want it, just pass on it. I mean, I'm not forcing the issue. So I'm pretty sure we're going to hit the 19,000. Very, very sure, by the way. It usually spikes like 2,000 the very last day on almost every one of these campaigns. So if it being 17,000, we're there. So we got Hiya Toys putting out their 3.75-inch Flint, which is really good looking figure. I think that I think it looks great. And it's a 1/18 scale, and Flint's combat suit is equipped with multiple pockets and hooks, and allowing him to carry various tactical gear, tools. He's is always armed with tactical rifle and other weapons, prepared for any situation. So this is meticulously crafted, and so are the accessories. It looks really good, and I think that the figures all look good, but this one feels like it fits more in with a real American hero, even though it does have a bit of kind of a futuristic vibe to him. Brian Flynn's such a tease. He's teasing a Crimson Guard, and it looks good. It looks like what you'd expect, I think, from a cartoonesque Crimson Guard. And with that, I think that every figure they make looks great. I think that the price should be. I think they've got to figure out a way to get the price a little lower than that, especially with the financial times we're going into. Tumultuous. God, I just wish the prices were lower, but they look great, and of course I'm gonna get it. Okay, so I missed this. I had to re-edit this back into the video, but this is Walmart CollectorCon GI Joe Classified Mole Rats Shooter Crimson Alley Viper. This news broke like right after my news last week, so I didn't have time to talk about it. But aside from the Crimson Alley Viper, which I still think just isn't right anyway, this stuff just doesn't feel like GI Joe to me. Maybe I'm the only one. Maybe you got to read the comic books or something. I just don't know. And so with that, I don't even know if I'm going to pre-order them. But the pre-orders go up on the 18th. So if you want to get into it in a couple of days here, get on it. I doubt they'll sell out, but you never know. GI Joe Classified makes no sense. I mean, stuff that I don't understand sells out, and stuff that I like, well, it sells out too. So anyway, get those from Walmart CollectorCon if you're into them. Sliding back to the Hyatt Toys, this is the Hall of Heroes Judge Anderson for Judge Dredd figure set. And I don't see a price on this. I'm sure this is going to be more than their usual $20 price point. But it's Judge Death from 2000 AD, Progs, whatever. Anyhow, it looks pretty cool. It comes with this thing for her to lay in, so it's not that small. It's actually bigger than that. She fits inside there, and she has some accessories and all that. So pretty cool, interesting set, and just something you just don't see Judge Dredd figures other than some stuff they did in the 90s, I believe. So, and I don't see anyone else doing this anytime soon. So we got another Sunman 3-pack, and it's the Rise of the Roars, and we've seen this was coming, but this is more pictures of the packaging and stuff, and then so artwork and all that. I think it looks good, but I'm not a fan of packing them like 3-packs. I'm not. I wish that they would make them individual carded. I'm sure it's cheaper for their production to pack 3 in one box, but hard to store, hard to display, and just doesn't give you those feels. I like the vintage vibe of getting them individually carded. That's just me. Maybe I'm the only one like that, but other 3-packs just kind of sit at half price, still not selling at Target right now. So we got a Steven Spielberg 3.75 inch set, which looks pretty cool overall. This is something that I think that if they would have made this in the Amber collection, is that a spitter dino? People really want that thing. This would have sold like hotcakes. It probably still will sell really well. I mean, it's pretty cool. We got the George Lucas Stormtrooper and several George Lucas iterations. Getting a Spielberg in here is pretty nice. Pretty cool. Checking out what it looked like if you got a bunch of the other figures in there. They're a nice bunch of figures, nice looking bunch of figures. I am not really in on it because I'm kind of not really in on Jurassic Park. I just did the Amber collection because it was fun. It was cheap. I was finding them for like $7, but I'm not even sure how much this set is going to cost. It is going to probably be pretty expensive for what it is, but anyhow, on Mattel Creations on Wednesday the 19th, and no pricing is in this article. Alright, so I guess we're going to get into some Star Wars news. There's actual Star Wars news this week, so we don't have to just make up some stuff and just pretend we're talking about, or talk about something that we heard 2 months ago. SDCC exclusive, the Vintage Collection Black Chrysanthemum, and he looks good. This is what the figure should have looked like, but it's in that weird no plastic package. I don't get it. I don't get it. And okay, I really don't understand what they're doing, but there's collection. Okay, so this should be Black Series, I believe. Yep, Black Series. This is a set of 3, and it's $110 for 3 figures. Yes, you get a big old plastic thing that goes with it. I think I might have that picture. You get like a plastic base that goes with it, but it's expensive. It's really expensive, and I know a lot of SDCC things are expensive, but this is just, it just shocks me how much this is. I'm not in on it, even though I think it's cool. Then we get the 2 of these things here. We got Ghost of Qui-Gon, and then we got another Obi-Wan Kenobi. So Walmart exclusive team, the Black Series Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jedi Legend, and Qui-Gon Jinn, Force Spirit revealed. And they're going to be $28 each at Walmart. And I got some frustrations with all of this to kind of talk about. The problem is that I have all along been collecting the ghosts. And I thought it was a really good idea. And I would have loved a 3-pack like early on. Then they put out a 3-pack where you basically had to rebuy everything to get Anakin. So you're forced to get an Anakin, you got to buy all 3, even if you have, like me, 2 of each other ones. So you have one to open, one to keep sealed. But why bother opening just individual ones when you shoot? Okay. Long story short is, this is very uncollector friendly. And I really don't understand what their thinking is. But at this point, Star Wars is so screwed up, I really think they could just put Tony the Tiger with a lightsaber in a package and just say, hey, this is Star Wars now. Just deal with it. I mean, it doesn't make any sense, the decisions they make at this point. I'm just shocked. And I'm actually not surprised that all of Star Wars is struggling. Anyway, let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. What else is cool that's going on out there that I missed? Like and subscribe. Ty Hanger out.